Hey everyone, it's me, Kelly, with Kellie and Consulting. Today, let's talk about leadership, especially for those in a first-time management position. So many individuals are promoted into a management role because you're good at your job, or maybe you have seniority and you're moved into this management role, but the skills are really different in terms of what it takes to manage processes and procedures and to lead people. One thing to note is I don't manage people, I manage tangible things, but I actually lead people. And there are skills that overlap there, but there are some distinct differences between the two. What I need to manage a department and those processes and procedures, and what I need to actually lead people. Statistically speaking, if you look at some stats, I look at a lot of stats from Gallup polls, and people get promoted into a management position on average, not the end all be all, but on average, people get promoted into a management role around the age of 30, but they don't receive any sort of guidance or training or mentoring around what it takes to lead a team of people until about 10 years later. So what's happening during this time? They're lighting fires inadvertently around their team and having to put them out. And so that's breaking that trust, it's breaking that communication, really muddling up that engagement of that team. And they're not doing it on purpose. They just don't know what they don't know. I found that leaders are successful with a couple of traits. Again, this isn't an encompassing picture of what all those traits may look like, but just a few that I have found have been really workable for leaders and have made them really successful, and people that I have led, but also leaders that I admire. And one of those is empathy, the ability to care about others. A leader that I'm still really engaged with today, who's actually a mentor of mine, really leads with a lot of empathy. And this person sees the best in individuals despite challenges and despite things that come up. And they are really positive and just really care about their team, really lead with a lot of care and compassion. And so I think it's important for us to remember that we work with humans and people bring baggage to work. Things happen. We're human with different personalities, and it's important at times to be able to lean on empathy and to have that ability to care about other people. Being transparent, for me, transparency is huge. And I don't mean transparency and I've said this before in other things, I don't mean transparency in the capacity of full disclosure. We're going to tell you everything. Not everybody needs to know everything. But people that are working on a team need to know things that impact them as a team. So it's important, if we're going to be changing policies or procedures around what that team is going to be doing, why are we not involving the team? Why are we not asking them, hey, is this workable? Is this a workable solution? What is your input about how we could make these things better? That's really important in helping to build trust among team members, as well as psychological safety. Psychological safety has been studied a lot by Amy Edmondson, who's a professor at Harvard. And she wrote a book on this called Teaming. And I recommend reading her book. For me, the book was a hard read. I had to read it twice, and it was something that I really had to reflect on because it was really case study heavy. But she had a lot of good information and a lot of good cases in this book, so I encourage you to check it out. Psychological safety is really just a fancy term for the ability for the team to communicate with their leader and to communicate mistakes and challenges, to be able to do that in a safe manner. Now, that doesn't mean there are not consequences for things that go bad, or that does not mean not holding people accountable. But it does mean we create an environment where people can learn from those challenges, where people can learn from adversity, and people can communicate ideas. Being able to have the confidence as well when you're leading teams, being confident in those decisions that you make, and having confidence even in the face of challenges really helps build that trust and helps to eliminate fear that team members may have when challenges arise at an organization. When change is happening at an organization, when there's adversity in a strategy, when there's adversity in external factors. I hate to go back to the pandemic because I want to move forward and our world and what we're doing. But the pandemic was a really good example of people rising in the face of adversity. Confident leaders need to be able to lead with confidence when those challenges arise. I think self-awareness is huge. Self-awareness for leaders is really important because we have to know that we don't have all of the answers and that it's okay for our team to have those answers. And the reason that those people are on our team is because they do have the answers, or they have the ability to find those answers or to critically think through problems. And so self-awareness is really important. Knowing where your strengths and your skills are as a leader, but being able to lean on others and being okay with that. Being able to do that, again, really builds trust and respect among a team. Think about leaders for you that you've had, that you would have gone the distance for, that when they say, hey, we need this, as a team, we're saying, yeah, let's do it. So I think self-awareness really plays into that. It really helps build trust and respect among the team, not just with the leader, but with the members of that team as well, and really helps build strength and a united front. As does patience. Patience is something else that I think it's really important for first-time leaders to lean on. I think as people in general and the world that we live in today, our patience is slowly dwindling, and I know patience is a struggle for me as well. But patience isn't just waiting for things to happen, but patience is, in this context, giving people the autonomy and the flexibility to get work done in a way that they can think through it. So giving someone a challenge or a task, setting your expectation and clearly communicating those expectations, but allowing them to work through the task in a way that they see fit or what works for them. And so we have to remember that not everybody thinks through things in the same way that we do, and not everybody thinks in the same way that we do. So how are we letting our team members think and work through those problems? And being patient and allowing people to think through things, to come to you with challenges, to work through those problems, to come up with workable solutions. So with some of these thoughts about first-time leaders, I actually want to introduce to you guys a new course that I've launched. It's called Becoming a Leader: Golden Rules for First-Time Managers. So if you're looking for a little bit more guidance yourself as a first-time manager, or you have people on your team that you would like to build up their leadership skills, I encourage you to go to my website, click the shop button, and check out my Becoming a Leader: Golden Rules for First-Time Managers course. You will find information there on how to effectively hone your skills, on how to become a better leader. And coupled with that class is a LinkedIn community that you can join. Now in the class, I've built in several reflective activities where you can reflect on those within the LinkedIn community and other professionals that are looking to grow and those that are growing their leadership skills as well. So I would encourage you to check that out. I look forward to seeing you soon.